Hello, check 1 2. Hello, everybody. It's Ian, Starship Adventures. And tonight we're going to be broadcasting the Cape Coral Gabfest live from the studio here out to the world over the World Wide Web. And so here we go. Along with it tonight, we're also going to have radar views and different things from around the area to kind of check out. We've also got the flight tracker and different things here to look at, as well as the VHF propagation map in the upper right corner. And that uses APRS in order to see what the propagation is out there. All right, so I will be participating on the net tonight, and you'll be able to hear me through the microphone and everybody else through my radio. My radio has a Diamond X9 antenna that's up about 40 feet. And we can usually hear just about everybody. There may be one station that'll be a little hard to get, but we can usually get everybody. I'll be letting them know right off the bat that we're on here. There may be people joining us, and I will be watching the chat room as we go on tonight to see if anyone else comes in. All right, so we're just going to give this a few more minutes here. The net starts in just a little over 2 minutes here, and I'm getting the live screen up so I can check everything out here. So just give me a second to get things going. I will not be commentating during the net. I'm just going to play the net, okay? So there's, I won't be talking over it or anything. I will be participating in it, but you will only hear me when I'm actually on the net. If this works out tonight and the folks like it, I'll probably be doing this a lot more often, and I'll probably also be doing the Sanibel Loggerhead net on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This is the Cape Coral Gabfest on 146.490 Simplex, no PL, and we are in Southwest Florida, specifically Fort Myers. If you're in this area, try to get us. There's a lot of VHF propagation running up in Georgia right now. I'm hoping it'll slide down here while the net's going on, and we can see if we can get a little bit of additional propagation. But anyway, we're just a little over a minute away here, and I'm getting the live screen up so I can see what's going on out there and get the chat room up and everything here. This wasn't too hard to set up. This is something I'd like to start doing every week so that we can get more people involved in these nets out there. I think it's really important. For those of you who are just joining us, this is a live broadcast of the Cape Coral Gabfest, which is a Simplex radio net on amateur radio in Southwest Florida. All the people you're going to be hearing on the net tonight will be talking radio to radio. There is no repeaters, there's no infrastructure, there's no internet other than us bringing this to you over the internet, over YouTube. Everybody will be talking radio to radio. So the whole purpose of this net is for people to test out their equipment and see how it works in the in the grand scheme of things. All right, so I'm adjusting a few things on the screen here. That looks pretty good. There we go.
CQ. Welcome to the Cape Coral Gabfest. I'm KI4GED. My name is Charles. I'll be your host at the Gabfest this evening, which is February 13th, 2025. We meet here on 146.490 at 8 p.m. local time every Thursday, and we welcome any and all hams to join us. After check-ins, we go through 2 rounds, so don't forget to stick around for the second round. Okay, once again, I'm KI4GED with the Cape Coral Gabfest, and we're looking for check-ins. Please come now.
KO4 EFS, Ian in North Fort Myers.
KB4AR, Angelo, North Fort Myers.
Whiskey 4, Bravo, Tango, Juliet, Tim in Fort Myers.
Whiskey 8, King Zebra Tango, Rick.
November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel, John and Matt Lachey.
Kilo 4, Romeo Alpha Bravo, Rick in Fort Myers.
Here is AA4JS, John in East Fort Myers.
Net Control. Whiskey 4, Charlie Foxtrot Sierra, Carl, Southwest Cape Coral.
Kilowatt Alpha 8, Foxtrot Tango Papa, North Fort Myers.
Okay, nice check-in there. We got 9 check-ins. What's myself? That's not bad at all. I'm a little behind on the call signs. Let's see. We got top of the list tonight's KO4 EFS. That's Ian in North Fort Myers. Then we got KV4AR Angelo, North Fort Myers. W4 BTJ Tim. W8 KZT Rick in Cape Coral. And let's see, John and Matt Lachey. I didn't quite. Oh yes, N6 JDH. I think it is the new call sign. And Matt Lachey. K4RAB Rick, South Fort Myers. AA4JS John, East Fort Myers. W4CFS Carl, Southwest Cape Coral. The KA8FTP Tim. Whoops, that's not going to be Tim there. That might be, I forgot your name there, or the KA8FTP. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, it's Ron, Romeo Oscar November.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Thanks for checking in. You're check-in number 9 tonight. Okay, once again, did it get everybody's call signs right? If there's any corrections or anybody else wants to check in, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Okay, I don't have a subject for tonight. Anybody have a subject for tonight you want to have for a subject? Please come back. Okay, nothing there either. So if anybody went to Hamcation, Orlando, they can bring up their experiences there, how it was, and let us know how that was there. And we did have a swap shop last Saturday. It was a pretty good turnout there, even with the people that did go to Hamcation missing, but it was a good turnout. And John, we missed you there, and good to hear you back on the radio tonight. So let's go to the top of the list. Top of the list tonight is KO4 EFS. That's Ian in North Fort Myers. Your turn.
All right, KO4 EFS, Ian in North Fort Myers, and I want to let everyone know tonight that we are broadcasting live on YouTube right now. So if you are out there and you're not able to hear everybody, go to @Starship Adventures. That's @Starship Adventures on YouTube. Very easy to find. It's the only channel called that. And I am broadcasting this live right now. I got several of my friends in there listening to us right now over on YouTube. And I'm also showing the propagation map, the flight tracker, and the Doppler radar. So it's everything you could ever want to know right now going on while the net's going on. And you can listen to the net. It's only going to be delayed by 10 or 20 seconds. I've got the delay turned down as far as I can on it. And I'm hoping that if you guys can't hear someone, you could turn up YouTube and you can hear what they're saying. You'll be able to hear them through my radio here at 40 feet through my Diamond X9. And hopefully you guys can, I've heard, I could hear everybody tonight clearly. So if you're having problems hearing people, just have my YouTube channel up and then just turn that up and you'll be able to hear the people you can't hear. We're going to try this tonight, Charles, and see how it works. If it works, I'm going to do it going forward, and I might even do the Gabfest too, or the Loggerhead net as well. I love these two nets. They're great nets, and I want to get them out there some more. So anyway, there you go. We are broadcasting live on @Starship Adventures right now over the World Wide Web. So welcome to everybody out there as well. I'll pass it to the second round, KO4 EFS.
Okay, Ian, thanks for the info there on the setup you got going there for sure. Okay, next on the list, let's go to KB4AR, Angelo in North Fort Myers. Your turn.
Yeah, good evening, Charles. Good evening, Ned, KB4AR. Not much to report here tonight. I do have my new antenna up installed. I installed it last week to put up a Diamond X300 So signal reports would be appreciated. And for the first time, checking in on this net, I could hear absolutely everybody. So hopefully that's the improvement. And so I'll just turn it back to you, Charles. Not much to say here. KB4AR, back to net.
Okay, thank you, Angelo. Well, you is always blasted off to me. I use full scale to me all the time. So I'm glad you received better with the new antenna, and good to hear you for sure. Okay, next on the list, let's go to W4PTJ. That's Tim in Fort Myers. Your turn.
Well, very good there, Charles. Hey, good to hear everybody tonight. And Angelo, you sound great out here by the International Airport. We got a full quieting and full signal strength on you. So you're sounding good. And everyone else didn't make it to Hamcation, didn't feel up to it. And I don't know if I missed anything. But we'll make Dayton this year, I hope. If I'm still alive there, looking forward to that. Dayton Hamfest is always an experience. Yes, so is Hamcation. But yeah, been operating a little HF today. Had a really good contact just about 10 minutes ago. Great contact in Russia, which really surprised me, in Asiatic Russia. And yeah, it was on 20 meters, 14,270 on phone, and you feel really good when someone in Russia tells you you're 5'6", and that's to me a pretty good signal in halfway or maybe more than halfway around the world there. Back to you there, Charles. W4BTJ.
Okay, Tim, thanks for the update on that, and it sounds like you're doing pretty good there on the HF, and good signal from there by the airport there. Got a good signal to you also. Okay, I'm KI4GED with the Cape Coral Gabfest, and next on the list, let's go to W8KZT. Rick in Cape Coral. Your turn.
Well, good evening to everybody. Hope everybody's doing great. I was listening to the Russian guy on HF just before it came on here. Call started with R4. I couldn't get the rest of it, but he was coming in here probably about I'm going to say probably about an S5 or S6 maybe occasionally, but I could hear him pretty good. But I had a lot of other people in there trying to get him all at once occasionally, so it made it a little difficult. Angelo, your signal over here is an S7, and your audio is very clear, which it used to be a long time ago. It used to be real staticky, so you're sounding terrific this evening. But I don't have a whole lot to add this week. I've only been on the HF a little bit here and there for just a few minutes, and made some contacts over in Louisiana, Alabama, North Carolina, and there was someplace else, but right off the top of my head I can't remember it. But it was doing pretty good. And if everybody had been getting any information from ARRL, you'll know that this week was the peak of the cycle 25. So you should be getting the best possible contacts that you might be able to get at this moment in time, and it may be some number of years before it gets to this point again. So I'd suggest anybody who wants to do any DXing, you better do it now, because from now on it'll be a downhill slide. So good luck to everybody on that. So hello to everybody. It's great to hear everybody and see that we got a great roundup going on here. And I'll be listening, and hopefully everything will come up and we'll have something to add for the second round. This is W8, King Zebra Tango. Back to you, Charles.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Okay, next on the list, let's go to N6, JDH. That's John in Matlacha. Your turn. Okay, N6, JDH. That's John in Matlacha. It's your turn. Okay, Okay, nothing heard, so next on the list, let's go to K4 RAB. Rick in South Fort Myers. Your turn.
Okay, Charles, you had somebody else, so you doubled with somebody. This K4 REB.
Yeah, that was me. I was trying to get John, see if he heard me, or maybe he was away from his desk there. So obviously, take it away there, Rick.
Okay, it's K4 REB. Yeah, I'm planning on doing some stuff this weekend to try and take advantage of that peak of the solar cycle. CW, let's see, it's a worldwide DX contest. So it's a 2-day event, so I'm going to be on that guy, see what I can do with that. It should be a load of fun. Like I said, I'll get the decoders going, and my CW is mostly automated because I don't think I can send as fast as those guys go. Never in this world. That would be ridiculous. So fortunately, I have computers and decoders to take care of that. So I'm trying to think of anything else going on here. I'm just working on a couple of other things here. But anyhow, all right. Well, I'll just turn it back to Deb. This is K4 REB waiting for. We'll have some more second time.
Okay, Rick, I got some of you there. They get it all the time. I don't know if you've cut your power back or changed, or I'm not getting quite in the right direction. But I had some static with you there, but got most of it. So thanks for checking in. Did you first? Did you change the power, or are you running lower power than normal?
No, I haven't changed a thing. I'm running the full 50 watts into the X50 antenna, which is about 15 feet above the ground.
Okay, thank you. I got about an S6 on you there, so got most of that for sure. Okay, next on the list, let's go to AA4JS. Welcome back, John. I hope you're doing okay. It's your turn.
Well, good evening, everybody. Great to hear you on here. I've got something I want to run by all of you, and here's why. I've got a big thing ahead of me that's not going to be something that's going to fix me over a week or a month, you know. So with that, I just don't feel like being one of the leaders on this thing. I know also that Charles has been running this for many years longer than I have. Long enough that I don't even know how many that he's been in charge of this thing. And I know that he would like to get out, and I think he deserves getting out and not being the guy in charge every week. So I would like for 4 of you to start taking turns and be in this charge of thing. It's not hard. Any of you can do it. I hear you guys talk. It's not hard at all. So I would like for 4 or 5 of you just start take turns running this, and let both me and Charles have a little thing of not being in charge. Please consider that and think about it, and hopefully we can come up with 4 or 5 of you that will be happy to do that. Thank you all. And so that's what I've got as far as that. Otherwise, been off and on a little bit on the radio, not just a whole lot, with different things I've had to go to, and so many things I've gone to this week. So, I want to be part of it. I don't feel like being up and running it, and I know that Charles certainly needs some help as well. That's what I've got for this time. So back to you, Charles, from AA4JS.
Okay, thank you, John. There's no true word spoken there, and it sounds like a very good idea. Somebody needs to step up, 2 or 3 people, and take turns and run this net. I know I've been doing it ever since W4KNY quit the net, and the only way he got out of it was to quit. You can't get out of anything any other way. Well, there is one other way, but and I haven't talked to him in a while. Bob ran it faithfully for several years, and it's been going on for several years. It started way back in the club, back when the repeaters first got their tones. That's why this net started, because people didn't want to go to repeaters and tones. So that's why it's going. Okay, I'm KI4GED with the Cape Coral Gabfest. Next on the list, let's go to W4CFS Coral in Southwest Cape Coral.
Good evening, Charles, and good evening, everybody on the net. John, I don't know what you're up against there, but I wish you well, and I hope all goes well, and I hope things will work out good here for the net. Not too much in the way of ham radio activity on my part this past week, not at all. I think this is great right now. I'm watching Starship Adventures here on YouTube, and Ian, that's a kind of neat here. I'm enjoying watching it, and I guess it is about a 10 or 15 second delay on it, but nice work. It's interesting. I'll turn it back to net. This is W4CFS, back to net.
Okay, Carl, thank you for checking in tonight. It's always good hearing you on the net. Next on the list, let's go to KA8FTP. That's Ron in North Fort Myers. Your turn.
Well, good evening, everyone. Hopefully we're getting out halfway decent. Not much going on here. Just watching, playing on the computer a little bit. Listened to the radio a tad bit. Was listening from Marshall Island. Didn't hear him. And just doing a little bit of a couple emails I had to send out. And the project I've been working on is a 3-element beam for the club trailer, for the FMARC club trailer. Sitting 2.5 feet off the ground on sawhorses. Was able to make France and Wisconsin, so not too shabby on that. No, I did not hit Himcation. I was thinking about it, but I did not go. One of these days, I'm going to have to make it up there. So with that, that's all I got. I just happen to be sitting here and thought I'd check in. So I'll say good evening from KA8FTP.
Okay, Ron, thanks for checking in tonight, Joe. I was at Bill's house Tuesday. I saw the club trailer there sitting in his driveway, and that was my first time to his house. He's been over here a couple times, but I saw the trailer there looking good, and I know he's doing a lot of work there for the club trailer. And Bill's also doing a lot of work at the swap shop. He worked there the whole time, I think, last Saturday, putting up shelves and stuff, him and a few guys, so that's good to hear. Okay, we're at the bottom of the list, been through one round, so let's see if we got any additional check-ins for the Cape Coral Gabfest. Please come now.
KF6FJD.
Okay, we got KF6FJD, and that's Mike in Cape Coral. Come on back, your turn.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, HF has been on fire lately for several weeks. So anybody with a shoestring and stick it out the window, you probably make an overseas contact. And this one's for AA4JS. Again, if there's anything you need, please let me know. And let me know if you got that email I sent you about that park in Cape Coral. I think it's ideal for POTA. It's a really nice park. And what was that other one? Was it Starship Adventure? I was wondering when that repeater is going to be up and running. I think they're putting one up here in Fort Myers or Cape Coral. So I'm very interested in that system. It sounds like it's going to be really good. So there you go. Anyways, back to net control. This is KF6FJD.
Okay, Mike, I got you. I had to turn a little bit more towards the south. I was headed kind of west instead of the south, but I got you in loud and clear then. That's a disadvantage here of, Simplex and running with a beam there. I don't have the vertical hooked up right now, and Actually, I'm probably the farthest away from everybody on the Gabfest now. Except when Tony was in here, he was farther away than I was, so I'm further east. So it'd be nice to, maybe it would work out better with some net controllers in Cape Coral to run this net. It sounds like it'd be a better deal. So let's see. One more time, any other additional check-ins want to check into the Cape Coral Gabfest, please come now.
Hey, this is November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel. Sorry, I was on the phone earlier and I couldn't break away.
Okay, no problem, John. N6, JDH. And I turned, like I said, the antenna to hear Mike, and you're coming in a lot better, too. It's your turn. Go ahead, sir.
Not much here. I've just been doing some HF stuff, POTA mostly, and I put up a bigger GP6 antenna. The tip of it's about somewhere close to 43 feet in the air on the island here in Matlacha, so I can work Simplex a lot better. I can hear about everybody coming in tonight, and that which is really great. And other than that, I've just been working on the radio and doing things around here. And with that, back to net.
Okay, thank you, John. There's no problem. I didn't know what happened, but I'm glad you checked back in, and you're sounding good over here. Like I say, I had to turn a little bit, so hopefully everybody else is hearing me. Okay, one more time. Anybody else want to check in? Any other additional check-ins through the net? Or please come now. Okay, nothing heard. I don't have anything else to add. John, I'm glad to hear you're feeling better. So let's go to the second round there, and top of the list on the Cape Coral Gabfest tonight is KO4 EFS. Ian in North Fort Myers, your turn.
KO4 EFS, Ian in North Fort Myers. Yeah, the stream's doing great. Welcome everybody out there. There's 15 folks listening to us out there. I'm sure some of those are probably us tuning in as well that are listening, that are also participating in the net. But welcome to everybody that has tuned in. I think we're going to be doing this more often. And I would love to volunteer to net control this net anytime you want me to. I'm available anytime. As long as I'm not at work or have a studio deal, I would be glad to do it. We can work out a schedule, get with me, we'll get a group thing going or something. I love doing it. I used to net control this and that and the other thing when people needed fill-ins, so I'd love to do it. And we'll figure out a way to do this going forward. We're just going to need to get like a group email or something going, and then we'll figure out what nights you guys need me to do it, and I'd be glad to do it. Let's see. Other than that, I haven't done much HF this week. I've been busy, but I tell you what, I've got a few things I got to fix out there before I can get back on. But now that you're telling me we're at the top of the cycle, boy, I got to get going. I got to get my you-know-what in gear, because I do want to get on there. But you know what I have been doing with this antenna that I'm talking on right now? I've actually been using it to talk to people up and down the state of Florida. I keep the propagation map. For those of you watching, you can see it in the upper right corner. That's the VHF propagation map, vhf.dxview.org. And when you see those red splotches like you do up there in Georgia, VHF is running. And what I do is when I see it the state turn red, I pull up 2-meter call. I got a guy in Largo at 100 miles away 3 days ago. So that was kind of fun. So I've been using literally 2-meter FM and making contacts using the VHF propagation map and my 40-foot Diamond X9 antenna. So there you go. That's what I got. I'll be hanging around through the end. And I hope everybody enjoys the feed out there. And I'll probably keep doing this because it seems to be working great. I'll pass it along. KO4 EFS. Thanks for taking the net, Charles.
Oh, you're welcome, Ian, and thanks for volunteering to do some of the nets here. We'll appreciate that for sure. Okay, next on the list, let's go to KB4AR. Angelo in North Fort Myers. Your turn.
Oh, very good. Yeah, you know what? I'd be interested in doing some of the net controls as well. So, yeah, let's get together and figure it out. And more than happy to come in and do a few nights here and there. So, back to you, Charles, KB4AR.
Okay, Angelo, thank you also for volunteering. we'll have to work out something there, and I'll get with John on that also. And John, I understand, you want to back out. I don't blame you. Health comes before everything else for sure. Okay, next on the list, let's go to W4BTJ. That's Tim in Fort Myers. Your turn.
Very good there, Charles. Yeah, it would be nice, as you mentioned, someone over in Cape where they can got the receive of the Pine Island members and people who are over there, and a little better receive. I'm not here. The Pine Island people are small, so it would be two positive things. Unless, hey, again, Rick's got great receive over there, and he can always relay, right? But yeah, we'll see what. And I wish the very best to John. Everybody I know about this medical issues. Got them myself, so yeah, we'll hopefully get people who want to be part of the net here, as I did, and participate and maybe be controlled. Back to you, Charles, W4BTJ.
Oh, thank you, Tim. And Tim, I got you full scale, and you're probably you're far away from everybody also, like I am. Further east, like everybody, like we are here. But you got a good signal, full strength here, full signal here for sure, full scale. Okay, I'm KI4GED with the Cape Coral Gabfest. Next on the list, let's go to W8KZT, Rick in Cape Coral. Your turn.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody's sounding pretty good up here. Have no complaints at all. That's going to be great that Ian's going to try to take the helm there, and also Angelo. And one thing I'd ask Angelo, if you're going to do a net, you're going to have to do something about getting a little better audio there. We can hear you sometimes, but sometimes it's pretty difficult to hear you, just with the audio. But I think I'll probably throw my hat in there too. I mean, Charles has been on my back like a saddle on a horse to try to take this net over also. But I know I couldn't take it over and do it by myself every week because of things I do out here, and then I got my wife to take care of here in a week or so. She's going to have elbow surgery, and I'm going to have to be doing everything, so that may put a little bit of a deterrent in getting something done there too. But yeah, I'd love to do it, and won't have any problem at all doing it. Also, I don't know if anybody's noticed it. Boy, we have a huge full moon, and if it's not cloudy out there, you can go out there and probably do a little moon bouncing. Maybe we're doing that right now. Who knows? But that'd be pretty cool. Also, I think I'd mentioned to Tim, and that's W4BTJ, that the ARRL has done some work for getting the antenna restrictions lowered or leveled or eliminated in some of these HOA areas for the capability of getting antennas up and being able to do what amateur radio is meant to be, which is emergency radio systems and various other things. So hopefully that bill will go through, and like Tim and Tim W6WWW, he's in the same situation there, and probably a few others here that are in HOA areas or in apartment complexes and stuff like that, where they can possibly now put up an antenna to where that they can be a little bit more involved with the amateur radio capabilities. I was also going to mention K4RAB. Rick, you sound really good over here. You got an S9 signal here into the Northwest Cape, so it may be just where Charles has his antenna pointing, and he's not getting you in, but you sound pretty good. So also, I was going to ask Ron, is that a mono beam you're working on, the 3-element for the club, or is that a tri-bander that you're working on there? And also, I was going to ask Mike, KF6JFD, or FJD, where is that POTA location up here in the Cape? I'd like to know where that is so we can possibly take advantage of that. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Charles. That's KI4GED. This is W8KZT.
Okay, thank you, Rick. When we get to Ron, he can tell you about the beam, and then also, let's see, you mentioned somebody else there. He can get back on you on that, too. We'll get back in just a little bit. Okay, let's go to John next. N6JDH, that's where you checked in originally. John and Matt Lachey, it's your turn.
Thank you, Net Control, and also I'll throw my name in the hat for a rotation on being Net Control. I think it's the least I could do, and help out and do whatever it takes to get it done. I'd like to hear a little bit more about that HOA. I guess it would be a regulation that's coming that would trump basically the bylaws and the covenants and all that. It would become a law. I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. Back to Net Control.
Okay, we'll go through the rounds, and then after the net, they can bring up anything like that you want to in discussion after we go through everybody. Appreciate the questions there for sure. Okay, next let's go to K4RAB. Rick in South Fort Myers. Your turn.
This is K4RAB. I'd heard there was something rumbling on the HOA and antenna thing. So keep your eyes open on that. I don't know if the bill has been introduced yet or not, but there's definitely something going on. So something to watch. Yeah, I would be willing to do the net too. So I guess that gets us 5. But anyway, yeah, I can, in terms of running as long as my signal is decent, maybe I need to raise this antenna a little bit, but yeah, I could do that as well. So anyway, yeah, we get enough net controls, and you only have to do it every once in a while. So anyway, like I said, looking forward to working that contest this weekend. See what we can do with a sunspot cycle and my infit half-wave antennas. So anyway, don't know anything else, so we'll be passing it back to Net, K4REB.
Okay, thank you, Rick, and stick around after the net here, see what's going on. And John next, AA4JS. John, it's your turn.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank this email that he sent me. Somehow I had missed it, so I took another and was just looking at it, and that looks interesting. Looks like a great place to go and get out and operate once they get it all open. Thank you so many to hear several that have been willing to step in and help this. I certainly appreciate this. This has been one of the best things I've ever been a part of, and I think this is a very, very important net. So thank you all, and I knew you guys would. Other than that, don't have a whole lot to add. So with that, I'll pass it back to you and listen to the rest of it. AA4JS, back to Rick.
Good hearing you, John. Thanks for that was a very good suggestion there, and it looks like we got about 5 volunteers there. That would be a different one every week, and get a schedule going there for that. Get some kind of schedule going, and if you can't make it a certain week, you got somebody you can call to take over for you if you can't make it. That's the way it's been working here for sure. And it's a very informal net, so easy to do. Appreciate everybody stepping forward on that. Okay, next on the list, let's go to W4CFS. Carl in Southwest Cape Coral. Your turn.
W4CFS returning. Okay, Charles. Not too much more to add here. Good signals all the way around on everybody, nice and readable. And like I say, not much more to add. It was interesting watching the YouTube thing here with the Starship thing that Ian put up here. It's very difficult, of course, to follow the audio on that and the live transmission at the same time. So I have to play it back later and see what I sound like. I know what I look like. I can look in a mirror. But Thanks a lot, Ian. It's a nice job. I look forward to chatting with everybody next week. This is W4CFS, back to net.
Okay, thank you, Carl. Always good hearing you. Thanks for checking in tonight, supporting the Cape Coral Gabfest. Okay, next on the list, let's go to KA8FTP. That's Ron in Cape Coral. Your turn.
Okay, well, I'm not in Cape Coral. I'm in North Fort Myers, but that's close enough, I guess. Well, let's see. Someone want to know about the antenna. It's a, best I can figure, it's a high gain TH3 Junior. That we're trying to, we had to do a new hairpin on it, and we get the measurements down really close, but all three bands, the resonant frequency is a little bit low. So we're trying to adjust it that way we can run it without the any kind of antenna tuner. So we're working with that. Someone sent me a couple pictures of a TH3, a big one, different kind of matching in that, but gave me some measurements on theirs, so that's what we're kind of working on. So it's a TH3 Junior for the club trailer, 10, 15, and 20. So got it out of swap shop, trying to rebuild it, and like I said, the worst of it is the none of it was set, and it didn't have the hairpin matching network. Otherwise than that, not much else going on. Not going to be here much longer. It's about time to go in and get cleaned up. So just working GP1 about 12 foot off the ground, or about 14 foot off the ground, 2 foot above the roof, and it would be nice. I'm waiting to hear about HOAs and if I can put anything else up here that I don't have to hide, being in an HOA. So back to net control from KA8FTP.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Sorry I had you in Cape Coral instead of North Fort Myers. I remember you at the swap shop looking for that hairpin or information how to rebuild that. It came back to my mind after a while, but that's been a long time ago since we used that antenna. We used to set them up at the fields. I used to set 2 towers up at one time, and now it's a lot simpler now than what it used to be back in the days. Carried the beam towers out there. We had these 2 40-foot towers that were easy ways, but they were the ones with the smaller ones, you know. And we'd set them up time to the goalposts. That's been years ago. But thanks again there for coming back on that, and I know you're enjoying trying to find that stuff. It's a problem, though, finding the parts and pieces and having to make it and all that for that antenna there. Okay, next on the list, let's go to KF6FJD. That's Mike in Cape Coral. Your turn.
Yeah, Roger. I forget who was asking me whereabouts I was. Over here close to Burnt Store Road and Pine Island. And so I'm not too far from most people, so I guess everybody's hearing me okay. Again, HF has been on fire, so get out there and make some contacts. And if you guys ever like to use, or excuse me, if you guys ever like to see POTA, there's this park over here in Cape Coral called Seahawk Park, and to me it's just ideal for photo work. It's very big, it's got a nice little lake. It's an RC park. They do a lot of RC airplanes and cars and trucks and stuff. They have a huge open area, and it's got trees for shade, or you can bring your own tarp if you want to set up, and nothing really to obstruct your signal, so you might want to check it out. Anyways, back net to control. This is KF6FJD.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Thanks for the info there, and see what anybody wants to check in with you on that. Okay, we've been through 2 rounds, so let's see if there's any additional check-ins, any comments, or anything anybody wants to come back and bring up to the net tonight. Please come back.
Control. This is Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey Mobile.
Net control. This is November 6th Juliet Delta Hotel. I'd like to hear more on the HOA thing, and I'd like to hear more on the U.S. Park proposed relay, because I just looked on POTA and didn't see it.
Okay, John, hold up on that, and let's go to Tim Hey, just checking in, and good hearing you, Tim. Let's go to Whiskey 6. Whiskey, whiskey, whiskey. Your turn.
Good evening. Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey here. Just mobile. I just had some dinner with some friends from college, and driving back home now. I indulged and bought a Yaesu FT 150. Currently talking on the 6000, which I have moved to the car, so I have a car radio now. And so yeah, that thing's a lot of fun. I was playing around with it last night. I was actually talking on this frequency, testing out its ability to do the I'm trying to drive at the same time. Sorry if I'm down. And I got the GPS going. Playing around with the speech processing function on it. So that it's pretty neat what it can do. It takes all the noise. You know, it doesn't do magic. Like if they're below the noise floor, it doesn't pull them out. But you know, if you're above the noise floor, it takes all that noise out, and you just hear the voice. It does have a little bit of a digital sound to it, but it's not that pronounced. It's not like DMR intensity or anything. It's pretty refined. So I like it a lot. I had bought the program, the software, the RT systems with it, so I had a program within 10 minutes of doing it, and I was able to adjust all the settings. So I got to actually learn how to program it manually and all that. I had bought it from HRO, and you could do the Mars mod on it, and you pay $35 and they do the Mars mod. So do some GMRS on it if I want to. So emergency frequencies if emergencies happen. So which I don't even programmed in there, which I think it's all encrypted cell bands anyways around here. But anyways, that's what's going on here. Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey. Back to net.
Okay, Tim, well, I got you full scale. That mobile radio is doing great over here at East Fort Myers. You're full scale here, sounding good, and I'm glad you checked in. It's good hearing you. That makes 12 of us here tonight. That's a pretty good amount of people that have checked in tonight for sure. Nice net tonight. Okay, one more time. Any additional check-ins? Anybody else want to check into the net? Please come back. Okay, nothing heard. So let's go to N6 JDH. He has some questions maybe on the HOA or asking people want some more information on that. So let's go back to John. N6 JDH. Your turn.
Yeah, I'd just like to know where I can find this online. I have a couple friends that want to put up antennas that live in HOAs down in Estero. They're ham operators that have been ham operators but have always been restricted. So I think that's really good information that we could pass on and maybe gain a couple people into the club. And the other thing is I'm still looking on the POTA website for that park. So back to net control.
Okay, thank you, John. John, anybody got some information for John? Please come back.
Yeah, Roger, KF6FJD. Yeah, you can just go do a Google search, Seahawk Park, Cape Coral. You can also go on YouTube. It's probably a little better to go on YouTube, and it kind of gives you a visual of the surrounding areas in that park. It's really nice. I've been going there like a couple of times a week, so... Anyways, back to net control, KF6FJD.
Info?
On the Seahawk Park, but is it also listed on POTA? Is it approved POTA as a U.S.-park?
That I do not know.
Yeah, in order for it to be for POTA, it would have to be on their website. AA4JS could probably clarify that a little bit better, but I looked on POTA a few minutes ago and I did not see it.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that it's good for, and perhaps I misspoke, just for anybody that wants to just do some outside work in a park. I don't know if it's actual an official park registered to POTA.
Oh, copy that. Okay, I probably misunderstood. Thank you for that information.
Info?
Yeah, go ahead, Info.
Yeah, this is W8KZT. I'm going to ask if W4BTJ still has the info that I sent him regarding the HOA information. Tim, do you still have that?
Yeah, I should still have that in my system. Yeah, sure do.
I wonder if does it? I can't remember what it said in there, but does it say something that's any relevance at all that would help anybody at this particular point?
No, not at this time. They're still working on it. It's in progress, but like my wife says, it's always a work in progress.
Yeah, there you go. So everybody caught that from Tim?
Negative. November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel.
Okay, what he was saying, it is in a work in progress. They don't have anything firm yet, but it is in process and in progress. So as soon as ARRL has any confirmation and everything, they'll be putting it out in their newsletter. I get it just about once or twice a week, and I'll be definitely watching that for that particular information and be able to pass it on as soon as possible. W8KGT, back to KI4GED.
November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel. Comment?
Yeah, go ahead on that comment, John.
Is this by chance the over-the-air reception devices rule? Out of curiosity, is this the one that will possibly become law? Back to net.
Okay, anybody got an answer on that?
That's K4REB. That's the OTARD business. That has to do with satellite TV dishes, and it's strictly for that. And it has nothing to do with ham radio, so it does not have any effect whatsoever. This is a different thing. A bill has been introduced. All right, you can go on eHam and look on there. There's nothing on the ARRL site right now, but look on eham.net and you'll find it under their news. It says Pfluger introduces bill to protect amateur radio, and that's what it is.
Okay, anybody got any comments, any more comments or information on this, please come back. This is KI4GED with the Cape Coral Gabfest.
This is Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey. I have a comment about POTA.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, so with POTA, generally speaking, or always speaking, the park needs to either be a federal park or a state park to be a part of POTA. So a county park will not count towards POTA, but a state park will. So that's the good rule of thumb to go by. Back to net, Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey.
Okay, Tim, thank you for that information on that. And has anybody else got any comments, information, or anything to add to the Cape Coral Gabfest, or any additional check-ins? Please come now.
Info.
Go ahead, info.
Actually, question, is there anyone that did not hear Tim's response to that?
I did not.
What Tim had mentioned, just for everybody's info, in case you didn't hear it, is that POTA is regulated through federal or state parks, not by city parks or anything like that. So it'd have to be a federal or state park to be logged in under POTA for POTA activations. That's pretty much the sum of it.
Copy that.
Okay, Rick, thanks for the relay on that and letting them know the information there. I wasn't aware of that either, but that's good information, and we appreciate anybody bringing the information to the net for everybody else to hear. So, one more time, is there anybody else want to have anything to add to the net or any additional check-ins, comments, or anything? Please come back. Okay, nothing heard. Well, I'm going to officially close the Cape Coral Gabfest, and we appreciate everybody checking in. And we had 12 of us tonight. Real good turnout. So I'll say 7-3. Have a safe week, and hope to hear you again next week on the Cape Coral Gabfest. So this is KI4GED closing the Cape Coral Gabfest turn the frequency back over to normal amateur use. And I'll say 7-3. Anybody who wants to come back, wants to talk after that, the frequency is definitely open. Good night, all.
Yeah, KI4GEDW8KZT.
Oh, go ahead, Rick.
Hey, for the benefit of everybody that wants to become a net controller for the Cape Coral Gabfest, there is a certain etiquette they've got to start this, and Charles has that. I don't know if you can share it with everybody right now, or if you can get everybody together and give them that information like you had sent to me.
I'll have to get everybody's email address and then forward it. I think John sent me one not too long ago, AA4JS, that I had the protocol for it. So I'd have to get the email addresses up and find John's email and forward to the people.
All right. Well, we can get that going. We can get this ball rolling pretty quick for you. So, all right. Thanks again, Charles, for a great day. And I hope, if John, you're still listening, man, it sure is great to hear you, buddy. And we wish you the absolute best in your recoveries. This is W8KZT.
Okay, thank you, Rick. And I'll try to get an email together. It won't be tonight, and I'll be out. Let's see, Saturday we're going to, there's a ham fest in Sebring. It's a small one, but it's not a bad one. Back in the country area there, there's a small one at a church there, and I'll be there at that ham fest on Saturday morning. Probably be there about 7 a.m., so I'll be tied up till after, try to get there before next week, get this information out, but appreciate it. This is KI4GED.
KI4GED from Whiskey 6, Triple Whiskey.
Go ahead, Tim. I think, was you calling me?
Yeah, maybe, unless John from Mount Lachey can hear me, but I just wanted, if he's still here, if you could tell him, I could hear him on the way home. I was off Colonial and 6 Mile Cypress, the Ortiz intersection. I could hear John and Matt Lachey from all the way over there. He's doing a really good job. Just wanted to let him know that. Over.
Okay, I'm getting only about a S6 or 3 or 4 on you now. Yeah, you was a lot closer to me on Colonial over there by 6 Mile for sure. You're not coming in as good now, but let's see. You wanted to see if John could hear you in Matt Lachey, so let's go see if John's there. N6 JDH. John, did you hear Tim this last transmission?
This is N6 Juliet Delta Hotel. Yeah, roger that. I could hear Whiskey 6, Whiskey loud and clear.
Yeah, John, you're doing a really good job at your station there. I could hear you all the way out Colonial and 6 Mile Cypress, so you're really getting out with Simplex. You're doing a great job there.
I appreciate that information, Tim. It made a big difference raising the antenna to 43 feet. Huge difference, plus being able to stow it in the event of a storm in about 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, it sounds like you got it figured out there. Yeah, that's a great system. You can take it down, put it up. Yeah, 43 feet. That'll get you out a ways. So yeah, height is might. So doing a good job there. And I think you said you got a 100-watt amplifier or something, right?
Yeah, definitely. Roger that. Well, I appreciate you reaching out, and I appreciate the net tonight. As always, I'm working to make my home radio station better, and I do enjoy trying Simplex. But anyway, I've got to run, and 73 to everybody, and November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel will be monitoring on the side.
Whiskey 6, Triple Whiskey. Back to you, Charles.
Okay, thanks, Tim, for coming in for the radio checks there, and all. Like I say, you're coming in a lot better when you was closer. So I'll say 7-3. Good night to everyone. This is KI4GED, and I'll be off there. QRT.
Yeah, W6WWW KB4AR.
Hey, Angelo, how's it going?
Yeah, you're in and out, boy. There are moments I can hear you real well, and then you kind of fade off into the ether there as you move around.
Yeah, I had you a little spotty there as I was going over the overhead from McGregor. I can see your you got some noise on you, but I got you. Probably got about half of what you.
Yeah, I couldn't catch it. Sorry. Anyway, so a couple times there, boy, I could really hear you real well, and then you faded off there. And over there in Matt Lachey, I could actually hear you for the first time tonight. But you're still kind of weak and scratchy over here from North Fort Myers.
Okay, yeah, very good. I'm off of Parkway and McGregor. I'm almost home here. Traffic's not too bad at this point. But, yeah, great to hear you and great to... I'm surprised it's not the end of it. I thought I was going to miss it. But I'm glad I was able to catch the end. And I look forward to next week to be able to play on the... which I got to play around last night. I think you were there. I don't think you were there on 496 after the Aries net. I had to go over zero testing out for the radio. I don't think you were there, but maybe I'm wrong. Back to you.
Well, okay, yeah, you faded off in the ether there too. Didn't catch hardly any of that. So, I think I'm going to QSY over to the 225 machine for a few minutes and have a listen, see if anybody's on. So, talk to y'all a little later, 73, and if you want to come over to 225 and say hello, that'd be great. KB40R, we're clear. 7-3, guys.
7.
All right, Angelo, have a good one, buddy. We'll talk to you later. And you're sounding good up here, Tim. Looking good. Be careful.
All right. Very much. 73. We'll catch you later.
Roger that. Anybody left on? This is W8KZT. I'm sure Mr. Tim there's there. I'm pretty sure he's probably hanging there. W4BTJ. How about it, Tim?
W8. What was it? W8 King Zebra something there? What was that one there a while ago you used it?
Yep, King Zebra Tango. And the only reason I say that is because the gentleman that had this call 60 years ago or 70 years ago, that's how he used to call it. He didn't use the correct phenolics for it. He would always say Whiskey 8 King Zebra Tango. And I have the same problem probably what he had when I say Kilo Zulu Tango. They never can get the Zulu part of it correct. So I'm just going to start saying King Zebra Tango, and most people catch that right off.
Yes, they do. And it sounds good. No problems here. I understand exactly what you're saying. It's that time of night. Seems like HF's dying off.
Yeah, it probably is. Well, you'd have to jump up to 40 meters now.
Well, before you called there, made contact with S79BU in the Indian Ocean on the Seychelles Islands. That's a pretty interesting contact there.
I don't know what that was about. Something came in there and messed up your transmission there, Tim. But I did catch what you were saying. But really, Indian Ocean, wow, that's wild. So that's pretty good contact. But I don't know, did you hear that after you got off there? What that was doing is, it was, I can't remember what they call that, but I guess identifying with the code.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. I didn't get that at all. Back to you, W4BTJ.
Yeah, it kind of caught me by surprise because, this is not a repeater, but it sounded like it was a repeater. So I don't know. I wonder if anybody else on there heard that.
Well, there might be a repeater in the distance. The conditions are so good tonight. Yeah, that repeater might have came in and where you could hear it.
Yeah, I never gave it that thought that maybe somebody else has got a repeater on this frequency. That'd be wild. But yeah, it came in and it was almost drowning you out there a couple of times, and you come in pretty good here. So just to give you an idea how strong that was there for a second. Then when you unkeyed, it was down about an S2. So, but it was very legible what it was doing. So, anyway, hey, I was going to ask you, how'd your stuff go on the kidney stones now?
Well, they told me they can't do anything until
KB4AR, is anyone monitoring?
MRI, which is now scheduled for next week. I had to go get some blood tests, which won't be ready till next week.
KB4AR.
And then on the 20th, they're going to see me again. So I got to live with this another week. I talked to her. I said, how about if I just go to the emergency room? Let me tell you, you go to the emergency room, you couldn't even get in today. I couldn't even get in. There wasn't even a place to park at the hospital. That's how bad it was.
Yep, we've heard that about the past week, that if you go in there, you could be number 50 in line, and for them admitting people with all these coughs and vomiting and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be a good idea to go there at all, period. I mean, because you're not able to catch anything from sitting around in there, and it's just not good. But I've even had complaints on Facebook, I guess on the I don't know if it's in Lee County or just Cape Coral's part of the Facebook part. The people were just complaining left and right about that very same thing.
Oh, well, maybe it's good I didn't go in then. Last thing I need with these lungs is to get something like that. That might be terminal for me.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. I'd stay away from there for sure. I wouldn't have an idea where to send you. But yeah, that's pretty bad, really. I mean, they know how long you've been putting up with this and all of that, and they wait another week. I just don't get it.
Yeah, well, that's just the way it is. Let me tell you, it's excruciating. You know how it is. I know your wife does anyway.
Yep, I think she said either had 7 or 9 of them so far. I mean, it's been a lot of them. One day we were coming. We were down in Fort Myers someplace, and coming up Tamiami Trail there, 41, and probably about a mile and a half south of the hospital down there, just before you cross over the bridge. She says, "Oh man, this is about to kill me," and she actually was hurting her so bad she started crying. She says, "You got to get me someplace." I said, "Well, here's the hospital." We pulled right in there, and they gave her some stuff to ease the pain and everything, and sent her on her way, and eventually it kind of eased up, but then it came back, so I had to go back to the doctor and get it taken care of. But I don't know. She's put up with a lot of them, but nothing like her brother. I mean, he's had, I'll bet 60, 70. There's so many of them, I can't begin to tell you how many.
There's a supplement you can get, even buy it on Amazon, that keeps them from coming back. They were telling me, and when I get these taken care of, they want me to start that. And it's pretty affordable, I think it's like a 90-day supply. It's like $80, but you take it daily, and you don't get kidney stones again.
Yep, I think they have medications for the 2 different types, the calcium, and then there's the other one. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I think it's the calcium ones that they don't have that particular medication that will work for. Is that correct?
I don't know. I have to look it up again. But hey, if I come across it, your wife's got the calcium, right?
Yeah, she's got that. She can't, stuff. She can't. She's not supposed to drink any colored pop. No coffee. Anything with caffeine. She couldn't have no caffeine, stuff like that. That kind of amplifies the capability of getting them. Iced tea. That's another thing she can't drink in numbers. In great numbers. But she does have occasional one. But she hasn't had one for a long time now. So it's probably been, I guess, almost probably 2 years now.
Yeah. Well, when I come across that information, I'll send it to you. It's you can get it from your doctor, or you can buy it on Amazon. Saves you a little money getting it from Amazon. It's only like $80 for a big thing of it. Was it $360 or something like that? Where it's get it from your doctor, it's a couple of hundred, and you only get like 180.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, we've gone round and round with these medications and everything, and she was going to end up taking some special medication for sugar diabetes, and they were giving us these. Oh, you probably would have keeled over right there if you'd have heard the dollar amounts that the pharmacies were giving us when we went to get the prescription filled. And I'll tell you what, if it wouldn't knock you down right there, nothing will ever knock you down. So this past term where we were able to sign up for additional stuff on Medicare, I put the drug coverage on hers, which didn't amount to much at all a month, even though we had not initially put it on hers at all. And this is the strangest thing. A friend of ours turned us on to this RX place right down the street from us here on Hancock Bridge Road. And she was telling us how great they are, and they got the greatest prices and everything like this. Well, Deb's been going to Costco down your direction and been getting drugs there for let's just say she was getting stuff there at what would be zero cost, and this new one that we went to, it cost her, I think it was $70. So we could have just stuck with Costco instead of putting our drug plan together.
Yeah, Roger. And you can also, there's a little program you can sign up for at Costco. And me and the wife, I ain't paid for a drug at Costco for a long time. And my wife got a prescription today, and it was zero. And I got one the other day for pain pills. These opioids, or whatever they call them, tramadol, and it was zero. And I think normally those kind of drugs get a little pricey.
Oh yeah, well that's what she was involved with there at Costco. But we thought for sure that she was getting up on this other medication that was going to cost. Actually, it was like, I think it was $1,200 a month. I about flipped out, and that's why we did that. And then the doctor decided, no, I'm not going to do this because of this, and this, and the side effects. Well, if you read the side effects to about any medication you take, you'd probably never take anything. We make a big joke out of one of the worst ones it could be is oily, gassy discharge. So that would be fun to have.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you mean there. Like these darn eye drops my wife's on. She's on these little eye drops. And I'd hate to tell you how many thousands those are a month. It's like $12,000 a month.
See, that's unbelievable. But, you know what? I had a customer up in Ohio, AstraZeneca, which is a drug manufacturer. And they had a facility there in Westchester. And we ended up selling them a gantry system with a hoist on it and a unit that would internally clamp what would be like, you've probably seen these great big rolls of paper and stuff like that, but well, theirs was a film type material, and it would have an internal collet type thing that would expand, and they'd grab this thing and lift it up because it was very, very heavy, and they would be able to manipulate it to get it into the machine so it would automatically wrap the medications in whatever foil and stuff that they were going to put it in. But anyway, we sold this system to them. I mean, it was tens of thousands of dollars that we sold them to, and even had it installed for them. And we put that all together in there, and it was for a new medication that they were developing. And then all of a sudden, they just decided they weren't going to do anything. They quit the development or something. I don't know what the deal was. And I got a call from them. Hey, you want this stuff back? You want anybody that wants it? They just got rid of it and just wiped it off like it was nothing. Now, that's where a lot of the cost of this stuff goes.
Roger that. You ain't a kidding. That's where, well, that's like what Musk is doing for us right now on the taxes. Just somebody needs to clean it up. And wasteful spending. They got to eliminate it. It's killing us.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, boy, does he have a job ahead of him. Jiminy Christmas. He's sure handling it from what it sounds like, but I'll bet he didn't think it'd be this bad.
I bet he did. No one ever dreamed it'd be like this.
Nope, I think everybody in the country knew there was so much wasteful spending, but probably not to the amount that they're talking about. And the fact of finding out all of this stuff that we've been sending overseas as far as money that never gets there, and not to say it never gets there, but only some of it gets there, or they only use some of it, and all the rest of it somehow disappears. That's kind of troubling.
Sounds like a flesh bud.
Exactly.
Just what it is. It's like that COVID relief. Did you see the report on that money? There was almost $1 trillion that went to foreign people that wasn't even in the United States. Countries and everything collected money that was allotted for U.S. citizens to relieve the COVID, what happened to us. And that's why the almost depression hit. All that money, our tax money, went to other countries.
Yep. Got any other additions there, John?
The thing about it is, same thing with FEMA, right? You got people suffering in the Carolinas from their recent rains. You got people here in Florida still trying to recover from the hurricanes. And it seems like anybody that gets in office suddenly becomes millionaires tenfold. I would like to see the money that Elon has found and roll it into the country's social security system so people can get more money. Hey, 6 up, JD.
Yep, that's going to come to a head. You'll find out how much, I'm sure, because they're not transparent, let's put it that way. They're pretty upfront about letting everybody know what's going on and how much this and how much that. And I'd be all for it if I could get a nice big boost in my Social Security. That'd be great. I mean, there's a lot of people, not myself, but a lot of people struggling, that are not making that much money on Social Security, and the prices keep going up, and we're not going anywhere as far as income. I think the last one was, 2%, and I mean, what the heck is that? That's a drop in the bucket compared to what inflation has provided us. So, what do you think about that, Tim?
Well, I know you and John understand, but I think the little cost of living increase we got didn't cover the price of eggs.
That is a fact. That is for a fact. So I'll tell you, this egg thing, I don't know. It's just another one of those things that's going to try to cripple the country. And I just hope this is something that wasn't man-induced.
Well, unfortunately, I've read a few articles where there was almost 1 million chickens destroyed that didn't need to be. So we'll take it from there.
What do you think, John?
Yeah, it's Mike, no worries. I'd say another thing that really chaps my eyes. I think they ought to have some kind of bill introduced where, you know, if a man or a woman, a married couple, whatever, you pay off your house, there's no more property tax. I mean, that should be an incentive for people to go buy a home and be able to pay it off and say, you know what, this is mine, it's truly mine. But to me now, well, not now, but it's always been just a glorified renter. You don't own it. You stop paying the taxes, you see what happens. They need to eliminate taxes if you pay off your home. Eliminate property taxes. And another thing you should do, I think if you're of retirement age, you should get a break of all taxes. I'm not saying not to pay, but there should be a certain percentage of tax deducted or minus the normal tax. Because after all, you're not making the same income as you did while you're working. You're not income strong. You're not at your peak years. You know, for those who are millionaires, you know, God bless them. But the average guy, you know, when you get on a fixed income, you really got to watch your pennies.
Yep, that's for sure. I know. I don't have to prove. I'm not that bad off, but I do all right. But anyway, I honestly think, for one thing, there's no way they could stop property tax. I mean, they could stop labeling it as property tax, but we'd have to pay tax or some sort of fee to the cities and counties for. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we pay for, you know, is property tax. It goes to a lot of stuff, like everything, like your road work. I can't say a whole lot about infrastructure because infrastructure, right? You got to pay for that too. But yeah, there's a lot of things that your tax dollars pay for to improve the area. I think in Cape Coral, I don't know what the ratio is as far as retired people versus those that are working, but it may not be very good as far as the outcome if they did stop the property tax. I mean, I don't like paying my property tax. It's a lot of money out of my pocket every year. Fortunately, I can afford it, but I mean, there's a lot of people here. I think here in Cape Coral that are moving out because of all the infrastructure cost and everything because they're putting in city and sewer and city water and sewerage and charging them tens of thousands of dollars for it. So these people are getting out of town, man. So that's the way I look at it. So what do you think, Tim?
Well, I agree with you. It's a killer. I just think if I didn't have my property taxes and insurance, boy, you know, I could take a cruise. Me and the wife could enjoy our final years, but you know, I'm not going to say how much it is out here in the country club, but we pay a premium. You know, our taxes are extreme, and but fortunately, we've got decent water bills. 2 months was like $160 with sprinklers and everything. So, but boy, the taxes, oh my gosh! And they're getting ready to start up some park fee for they're adding additional parks for the kids, and the only little ones I've got is great grandchildren. They don't even live around here in this neighborhood, so I'm going to be paying for a park for soccer fields and everything else that is going to amount to thousands of dollars a year extra on top of my taxes.
Yep, for parks and recreations. The thing is, here's another thing that really gets in my crawl. We haven't had kids in school for, 30 years, probably. And it's something we paid for every year with our tax dollars is for schools. It is the backbone for the community. We definitely have to have the schools, and schools are not cheap. So, they just divvy it up between everybody, and that's what you got to pay. So, that would be another thing that could be eliminated from any senior citizen. Especially if they don't have any children living in the household. I think that's one thing else. So, John, what do you think?
Yeah, it's Mike. You keep calling me John. I'm all for schools. I don't know about how the school system is set up. I would like to see it more preparing kids for the actual real world instead of teaching them about subjects that they're never going to use in life. I would like to see them bring back trade schools. When I was a kid, they had shop and you could learn how to build things and do body work and work on cars and, electrical stuff and, plumbing and stuff like that. So more practical education, right? And then I would like to see, I guess Trump's working on that, trying to eliminate the government public school system and give it back to the states, or give it to the states. I think that's a good idea. And I think homeschooling should be an option. Well, it is an option, but it seems like maybe that should be a better way. Parents should choose the way their kids should be educated and not indoctrinated by the government. KF6 FJD.
Yeah, KF6JFD, and also W4BTJ. This is W8KZT. Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, I think the trades are something that they've kind of ignored for some reason, and there's kind of focus on technology and all that. Well, everybody can't be involved with technology or the world would stop. It wasn't for the trades people. It'd be a world of hurt. Plus the fact that tradespeople now, if you really do well and get into a good company there, you make very, very, very good money in the trades. And that was something that I looked at when I was in high school back in the late 60s, early 70s, and I was going to be an electrician, and I was going to work for either the phone company or the electric company. Of course, I worked at doing that and went through all kinds of things and to become one of those. And a month before I graduated, the daggone programs, which everybody in that program had put all of their chips in that basket, and that kind of went to wayside. So had to take a different route. But I still say right now the trades is where a lot of these people should be going and looking into, because they do pay very well, and it could be very lucrative to them. So W4BTJ, what do you think about this, Tim?
Well, Rick, I totally agree with you. Trades is necessary. Without home builders and welders and plumbers and electricians, and the list goes on and on and on, we'd be in a real bad pickle. And again, the trades pay well. There's nothing wrong with being a tradesman. I'm very pleased to know a few of them and have a few of them in the family, but these kids that go for these degree in the arts of BS, make them pay for their training and their education. If they wasted their money on something like that, they should be paying it back.
Good evening. This is KQ4, Sierra Charlie Yankee.
KQ4 Sierra Charlie Yankee. Go ahead. This is W8KZT.
Hey, good evening. Oh, I had a little bit of a problem here. I have a list of frequencies and everything, and I was wondering if anything was going to be happening tonight, so I happened to see the Cape Coral Gabfest, and I realized that it was Simplex, so on this IC 9700, I typed in the frequency and I tried to say hello a few times, but to no avail. I think I was transmitting on 820 for some odd reason. So anyway, I found the net on channel 8 on the ARES channel list. So that's all I got. I'm happy to be here. I hope to come again next Thursday. So I don't have much. I just wanted to introduce myself and say hello. Back to you.
No, Roger that. Is this George? Am I correct?
Yes, sir. That's affirmative.
Okay. I recognized your voice from listening to you there at the on the what is it on after the MOTA meeting there on Thursday night. They have the Traders Net. Then the darn, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, you were on that with N1NQU, and heard that voice, and I thought I'll probably remember if I hear it again. So there you go. So KQ4SCY. Am I correct on that, George?
Yes, that is correct. I didn't know that my voice was so recognizable. On another note, and I don't want to interfere with your discussion with the other fellow, but on the Traders Net, I went out to Lehigh Acres and looked at this tower that Dave had, and I did not realize that they were so heavy, and apparently we don't have the takedown tower crew anymore because of liability issues. Excuse me, which is fine, but he had a 10-foot section laying out behind an outbuilding there, and he was kind enough to give me that, so I brought that home here. I never realized how heavy they were. My gosh, a 10-foot section must have weighed 50 pounds or so. Anyway, that's in my backyard, and I've got a 20-foot vertical attached to the top of that, so I'm 10 more feet off the ground. That's for HF. Back to you.
Well, super, George. Yeah, I remembered it was on the newbie net that I heard you on there. But yeah, I remember hearing him mention that he had 30 foot. But I thought he said he had it all on the ground, but apparently not. Now, George, we also have Mike in here, KF6JFD. He's right up here in Northwest Cape, and also Tim. He's down in Fort Myers, and he is W4BTJ. So if you want to jump in here and say anything, jump right in and give us a yell.
Well, thank you very much. You guys can go, and I'll listen for a little bit. Yeah, the eham.net. On YouTube, I look at reviews and everything, and that comes up, but I didn't know they actually had a website with news on it, so I have it on my computer now, so that was a good thing just for listening tonight. So anyway, I'll be standing by. This is KQ4 Sierra Charlie Yankee.
No, roger there, George, for sure. Well, now just so you know, the actual Cape Coral Gabfest comes on at 8 o'clock every Thursday evening, and someone will be orchestrating the deal with managing the system and everything, and being the controller. So we always have Charles or John doing that, and those two guys have been doing it for years and years and years, and so 5 people, including one myself, are going to step in and start doing the control part of the Cape Coral Gabfest. So hopefully we'll hear you on there again, and yeah, jump in here, 8 o'clock Simplex on 146-490, and you'll be right there. So be looking forward to talking to you. So we'll turn it back over to Tim. Tim, see what's going on there, buddy.
Yeah, very good there, George. Yeah, KQ4 SCY W4BTJ. I'm located out here by the International Airport, near the ball stadium out here for what was it, the Twins? No, not the Twins, the Red Sox. Oh my gosh. Here in the Gateway community, just north side of the airport. So, yeah, we have Gabfest every Thursday night. It starts promptly at 8, and old Rick there, KZT, he might even be net controlled. So, yeah, feel free to jump in there and join us. It's always kind of interesting.
W4 BTG, KQ4 SCY, yes, very, very interesting. If there's time, I have a question about 10 meters at the moment with some interference that I'm getting, pulsating interference around 28 point, 300 to 500, according to my tech ticket. But when I change from vertical to horizontal, the horizontal has the interference, but the vertical, it's negligible. Anyone have a comment on that? Over.
Well, George, that could be anything from television to a light bulb. There's a lot of things that can cause that. My suggestion is to ground everything as well as you can ground it. If you got a capability there of putting in an additional ground rod, do that, and attach everything to one individual ground. All your equipment should go to a separate ground from your house, and that will help many times.
Well, everything is bonded. All of my equipment is bonded to a piece of copper behind my desk. No water in it, just a copper pipe. And then I have a number 10 wire going up through the attic out to a grounding rod. But recently I drilled a hole through the wall in my shack here, and I have some tinned braid, 3/4 inch wide, and I'm going to run that from my shack under the carpet out through that hole and put a grounding rod right outside the wall. So I've been meaning to get to Home Depot to get a grounding rod, but I'm just wondering why it's on my horizontal 130-foot end fed, but not on my vertical. I guess that's what I was wondering. Over.
Yeah, I know what you're getting there. I've got an issue with it out here. The high school put in some new LED street lights, and I get it from those. Yeah, and it's a half mile away. but I still get the noise. Get it really bad on 80 meters. Not much on 10, but 80 meters I get from them. So it's just something. It might be right in your house, or my suggestion is leave your radio on, turn everything else off, and go flip your circuit breakers to all the rooms except for your radio, and see if you still pick it up.
Yes, I've tried that, not completely, but it would be good if I had a LiPo battery, so I could hook it up to this radio, and that would alleviate everything. Well, yeah, it would. So that's the next step. But okay, KQ4 CY. I don't know who else wants to jump in there. Over.
Also, George, I had a brand new Vizio TV, a brand new one, a little 32 inch. I took it out of the box, plugged it in once, and got all sorts of static on my HF. And unplugged it, and it was gone. And that's all I had to do. But it's amazing what causes that.
Yep, a little more info. Yeah, George, another thing I might want to add. Most electrical information, or electrical static and everything that you'll get on your radio, you'll get it more on a vertical than a horizontal. But let me tell you about this. I had a case around here. I live right north of Santa Barbara, or north of Pine Island and Santa Barbara connection there. And I could turn my beam around and pretty much pinpoint where the electrical noise was coming from, and it ended up to be one of the what is it? The things on the electrical pole outside, transformers, and it ended up to be about, I'm going to say, better than a half a mile from the house, right in front of this veterinarian hospital up here. And I had a guy from LCEC come out and actually come right in the ham shack here and listen to the static and noise that I was getting, and he recorded it, and then went out and tried to find it and get that same noise on his meter that I was getting in here, because he would hook right up the antenna and get it. So he was able to find it that way. But I had something else I wanted to say now. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, it could just be that. It just could be something somewhere else. Like if you say you got a in-fed wire antenna, it could be getting that from anywhere around you. And like Tim said, it doesn't have to be right next door to you or nothing like that. And the other thing is, do you have anybody that has any solar panels that they just put in? If you haven't had that noise and stuff like that continuous, it could be something like that. Now, while you were talking, I've got an ICOM 97 or 7300 here. I turned it on in 10 meters and went from 300 to 500. I had nothing. So it doesn't mean that I haven't turned them. I have my antenna facing north. So if I turn it around, maybe I found something, but I didn't do that. So back to you there, George. W8KZT.
Well, that's very good information. Is that WKZT? Next time you come back. Yeah, I think it only happens in the evening, if I'm not mistaken, and it's worse on the end fed than it is on the vertical. So it's kind of the opposite, but what will happen will happen. You know, who knows? Excuse me. I heard of getting an AM radio and turning it to static and going around and listening where it could be, but yeah, I can turn off breakers. Well, 10 meters in the evening kind of mood, but I'd like to figure out. I'm looking at my IC 7300 right now, and at 28,300, I've got two pretty large interference on the waterfall that zigzags back and forth. So it's kind of annoying. So I'll have to look into it. And but thanks for the info. KQ4 Sierra Charlie Yankee.
Well, Roger, that is W8 King Zebra Tango, KZT. And one thing you may want to do is take your horse. Well, that's right. You said you got it in-fed. I was going to say rotate it around, see if you can possibly see it, but obviously you can't do that. But, you say it comes on in the evening. That tells me it may be something that one of your neighbors has that's the interference. And that could be, because if you're only getting it on 10 meters, it's some sort of interference that's harmonic to 10 meters and only 10 meters. So it might be not as hard as you think to figure out. I tried that AM radio thing, and it works a little bit, but I thought mine was internal and it wasn't. So it could give you a little false readings there. So, okay, we'll turn it over to Mike. Mike, you got anything to add there? KF6JFD?
Yeah, KF6FJD. No, I'm going to call it quits, guys. You guys carry on. I'll catch you another time. Good night.
All right, buddy. Well, have a good one, and definitely join in with us again next week there. So turn it over to Tim and see what he's got to say there. Go ahead.
Yeah, Rick, I agree with you. It could be even something in his neighbor's house. Sounds like if they come home from work, and they turn something on, oh boy, could be anything. Everything from their television to a computer even, monitor, to the computer, anything is LED. It just, it could be anything that's doing the damage. So, back to you. I'm going to have to call it a night there. Got some meds to take and need to get in there. George, pleasure talking to you. John, you take care. 73's Rick. Tell Deb I hope all's well with her. At K8 or W8 KZT 73's John AA4JS and KQ4 SCY George. 73 Saul. Have a good evening, fellas. Thank you for letting me participate. W4 BTJ. Good night.
Yeah, buddy. Well, we're more than glad you're able to be on here, and you add a lot to the net for sure. So thanks a lot for coming in there, and I wish also for you and Sandy, hope you the best, and we'll be talking to you sometime soon. And one thing I was going to mention to George, I'm going to jump off here also. Battery chargers are another thing that really can wreak havoc to radio. So look out for that too. So this is W8KZT. I'll turn it back over to KQ4 SCY for your final, sir.
W8 KZT KQ4 Sierra Charlie Yankee. Yeah, I just looked on 17 meters, and I've got the same thing, the zigzag pattern on the waterfall. So I'll look into it, and I thank you for the information, and it was nice being here, and I will certainly see you fine gentlemen next Thursday. So I will say my 73s also. You have a good evening, and we'll see you next Thursday, God willing, and if the creek don't rise. So this is KQ4 Sierra Charlie Yankee. I'll be clear.
Okay, George. Well, thanks a lot for jumping in, and definitely appreciate the contributions and everything, and be glad to help in any way that we possibly can. Another thing you may want to do is jump on the newbie net next week and ask Larry N1NQU what he would think that it might be if you haven't seen it or found anything out between now and then. So, yeah, it's really aggravating. I know it's very aggravating. I had it so bad that until they were able to change that transformer, it was about to drive me nuts. So I hope that probably be the problem here. The reason why I mentioned the transformer is because we have a lot of salty air around here, and these transformers, they'll get all that salt and everything and make the connections bad on them. And that's what the guy told me, how they start to act up a little bit. Well, we actually had one right across the street from us and behind the house across the street that blew up. I mean, right in the middle of the day. And part of it landed up in the front yard over here, in my yard. And, yeah, that was something else. We didn't lose the electric, but the people over there did for like 2 days until they got a new transformer in. They changed the transformer out, set it down over there, and it's been sitting there for at least 6 months. So I'll tell you, they're on top of things around here. So I hope you have a great evening, George, and thanks again for stopping in, and I'll be looking forward to talking to you next weekend. So KQ4SCY, this is W8KZT, and good evening, and talk to you soon.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I hope they get that transformer out of your backyard. 73 is everyone. KQ4SCY.